So many of you are still trying to find your comfortable sensitivity in Rainbow Six Siege, and some of you just got this game and started playing. So you have no idea what number to put here and which one is the best for you. You miss your shots, potato aim, and copy other pro players' sense. Thinking with yourself that makes you better, but you're wrong. In this one, I show you how you should find your sensitivity on PC and console in Rainbow Six Siege. Before we get to the video, don't forget about my coaching sessions, which you can get all the info about prices and how they work by sending me a DM on Discord. My Discord is in the description. Let's get to the video. Okay, so the first thing that you have to pay attention to is your DPI. If you're playing on PC, you have a DPI, but if you're on console, you don't have to watch this. You can skip to horizontal and vertical sense. But for PC players, you have to see what mouse you're using. Are you using Logitech? Are you using Razer or some type of other mouse? Most of the time you have a software. So mine is Logitech G Hub. I can adjust my DPI, give it some numbers, 400, 800, 1600, and so on. Same goes for Razer, but some other mouse have colors. Okay, so each color represents one DPI. Red can be, for example, 400, green can be 800, just an example, and so on. But so far, if I press the middle mouse button, look, my DPI changes. So this is faster. If I press it one more time, this is way faster. And if I press one more time, this is very, very, very slow. Okay, press one more time, it's a bit faster. This is my DPI, 800. Now, what you want to start with is either 400 or 800. I suggest you start with 400, see how it is, if you like it or whatever. If not, you can switch to 800, but do not go higher. That's my suggestion. You can always go higher if you want to. Second step of finding your sense is that you have to go to your documents. If you're playing on PC, you have to find your multiplier. Are you playing on default or are you playing something else? You should be on default, but let's check, okay? So you go to documents, you go down to my games, you go to Rainbow Six Siege, and these are your game files. So this is like my main account, for example. This is like alt, this is another alt, this is someone else's account, etc, etc. You should have like one or two, okay? So your main and maybe like your alt. You find your main account, you press on it, go to game settings, and somewhere around here where you have input, you're gonna find this one. Mouse sensitivity multiplier unit. Look at this, 0.02 0000. So this is default, okay? What does it mean? So why should we even change our default multiplier? So some players, look, pro players, okay? I don't think if you should change it, if you should touch your default multiplier, just keep it like that. But for pro players, they want to be kind of accurate, okay? They want to be precise. So they can't go, for example, between the number 5 and 6, okay? There's no number between 5 and 6. But when they change their default multiplier, they can go between the number 5 and 6. How? By going 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 7, 8, 9, and now there are 6. You see what I'm saying? So they can go between 5 and 6 with these numbers. Okay, that's what they're doing and that's why they change it. But you don't need that. You can just still go with the default multiplier and just have these normal numbers. Now, the next step is choosing your horizontal and vertical sense. Okay, for PC players, you have to go depending on what DPI you're using. But for console players, it's easier, okay? I'm gonna explain first PC and then switch to console, okay? So PC, I'm gonna go with, let's say, 400 DPI, okay? So this is 400, it's very slow, my mouse doesn't move. And I'm gonna go with number like 5, okay? Start with 5. Guys, look, if I wanna move my head from in the middle to the left side, this is how I want to like move it. Look, I have to turn so much. I have to turn 5 times until I can do it like a 180 flick. And if I ADS and I want to shoot someone, this is how much I have to move my aim so I can kill someone. So this is very, very slow for me. Maybe it's good for you, I don't know, but I don't want to play like this. So what I'm gonna do is increase this number. I'm gonna make it like 10. So 10, 10, 400 DPI, let's see. Okay, feels a bit better. I can work with this. But for my 180 flicks, I have to just do it a bit like longer, right? I have to move my mouse from this side to this side so I can do like a 180 flick. I usually don't do this because I'm playing on 800 DPI, but 400 DPI, it's different. Yes, you can go with this number. If you again feel like this is slow, you can obviously increase the number. Now, if I switch to 800 DPI, this is obviously going to be faster, right? Faster. And then for 180 flicks, I have to use my rest. Look, my rest, I just turn around 180 flick, okay? I don't have to do this, for example, or this, and just move my mouse from the left side to the right side of my mousepad. So what you want to pay attention to is basically how fast can you do this, like flick from left side to right side. Do you like it? Is it fast? Is it okay to you? And also your 180 flicks, just turning around, okay? If you're, for example, turning around and you don't reach this, just like remember the 400 DPI and like 5.5, I had to do this like 4 or 5 times. That's not good. And if it's too fast that I just do it like this, like I had to land here, but I landed here. This is like over flicking. This is not good. This is too fast. Either you lower it down or you get used to it and practice, which I suggest you change it, okay? Don't practice with that one. It's just too much. Somewhere around here or here, if you land, it's okay, you can practice, but this is too much and this is too much. For console players, you guys don't have DPI, so obviously you can't just have numbers like 10 and 10, 11 and 11. It's gonna be slow, okay? What we want to do for console players is go higher than 50. I used to play on console on PS4 for 3 years. For horizontal, you want to go higher than 50. So either 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. So we can actually move around. And again, it's about your flicks. If there's a guy shooting behind you, you can turn around and shoot him. And somewhere like this, the flicks, like long flicks and like short flicks, okay? And for vertical sense, you don't need higher than 50. Go from 30 to 50, okay? Why? Because this is the guy. This is how much we want to move our aim. And like this is the door frame. So this is how much we really need. We don't need like here. We don't need like here. This is the amount that we need. Okay. And this is how fast we want it. If it's slow like this, it's not good. And if it's fast like this, it's not good. So go from number 30 to 50. The rest are your dead zones, okay? This is like, for example, how much pressure you put on your sticks or your shocker or your analog when it moves actually. So if it's like 2, with a little touch, it's gonna move, right? But if it's like this, so you have to actually put pressure on your stick and move it all the way to the left side and right side, and that's not good. So go with low numbers like 5, 4, 3, and that's just preference. You gotta see how much sensitivity you want on these ones. And the last one is advanced controller options. Some of the players I've been coaching, they had it on. Some of them, they had it off, okay? This is just some extra stuff. Maybe you can make it better. It's just preference. Or you can have it disabled and just play like this, okay? It doesn't change anything. You can still be goated and get champion. Let's move on to mouse ADS sensitivity. First of all, you want to go with advanced, not standard. Why? Because then we can have different sensitivity for different scopes, okay? This is your ADS Sens, and it's different with this one, horizontal and vertical, okay? When you're aim down sight, it's different. Some people want to have this one faster and this one slower, or the opposite. Good examples that I can give you is that some people go with like 70 and like 80 and 90 and whatever, okay? Why? Because when they're pushing side and they're ADS, they want to be able to flick faster. I think Bolo has his sense like this. So he's like pushing his ADS, he gets a kill and then turns around to here, you know? So he doesn't have to un-ADS, turn around, and then ADS again. That's why he's doing that. But the other example is that some people find it too fast. They just can't do it. So what they're gonna do is have these ones slower. So they go like lower numbers. Yeah. This way they can track smoother. Look, if I want to flick again behind me while being ADS, I have to do it 2 times, right? So it's slow, but I can track smoother. I can track better. I can flick better. This is the area that I want to work with, not behind me or left side. If I want to work with somewhere behind, I just un-ADS, turn around, and then ADS. So I think that's what Shaiko does. He has his sense like this. He can track better, he can flick better, whatever. But when it comes to flicking, he has to un-ADS, turn around, and shoot. Now you're asking which number I should go. I'm gonna ask you this. Which type of player you want to be? Do you want to be someone like Bolo and stay ADS all the time and then flick around? Or be someone like Shaiko who has like good flicking and good tracking? You can also go somewhere in between. You don't have to necessarily go all the way high till the end or go all the way to the end right here and make it slow. My ADS Sense is 33 and 53. Right now you guys are seeing ACOG 53. So I feel like this is for me good, okay? I can track smoothly, make it slow, make it fast. I cannot do this, okay? It's gonna be a bit hard. So what I'm gonna do sometimes is like un-ADS and shoot. And for my flicks, this is how much I need. I want to be able to flick from right here to all the way like here. This is how much I need. Now guys, something else that you have to pay attention to is to see what type of player you are. Are you an arm player? Do you want to play like this? Or do you want to use your wrist? Okay, I feel like I'm kind of like both. So sometimes for flicks and tracking, I use my wrist, but sometimes I have to flick longer, so I'm gonna use my arm, right? If you're an arm player and you want to play with your arm, definitely you have to go with slower sense, so 400 DPI or just like lower horizontal, vertical. But if you're a wrist player, obviously higher sense, so you don't have to just use your arm. One move like this, your aim is going to go all the way to here. Something else that you have to pay attention to is your mousepad. For PC players, how much space you have. If you have a large mousepad all the way and a long desk and whatever, you can be an ARM player and just use all of it, okay? But if you have a small mousepad, then you have to go with higher sense. So you can just use this amount or this amount and don't go over the mousepad. So for example, if my sense is like, let's say 5 and 5 and 800 DPI, and this is like lower, I don't like this. You know why? Because when it comes to flicking and tracking and just whatever, like I'm out of mousepad. Like I'm just on the edge and I don't want this. Same goes for just horizontal flicks. I reach my keyboard and from the other side, I reach at the end of the mousepad. So this is obviously not a good sense. But with my original one, with the normal flicks, you see, it's in the middle, my mouse is in the middle, I'm comfortable. And with the ADS ones, it doesn't reach the edge right here and here. It's still kind of in the middle. Now, what practices you should do with your sense, the one that you just found, okay? You feel like this is the right number. Your 180 flicks are good. You can flick till here and till here if you want to, or it's just faster, however you want it. And then we go to dummies, 4 targets, random, and we want to put it on sprint. So now I'm going to practice my tracking. Is it smooth? Just follow the buttons, make sure I'm all the time on the target. Okay, not stopping in the middle like this. This is not good. It means like slow. It has to be smooth, okay? If I change this number, if I go faster, it's gonna be shaky. I don't know how I can control this sense, okay? And keep it on the target, so this is not good. And if it's very, very low, I'm not gonna be able to track this guy. Look, I can't reach this guy. It's too fast for me. So again, this is not a good sense. And then after that, we have flicking. So change the options, put it on big balls, for example, idle speed, 4 targets, and then start flicking. See how your sense feels like. Is it fast? Is it slow? So this is my sense, normal. I can flick however I want, short flicks, long flicks. But if I change this, and like, let's say make it 15 and 30, then this is very slow to me, and I don't like this. I have to move my wrist and arm faster so I can flick. And if it's super fast, again, what happens is when I want to reach here, I'm gonna go here, and then I have to fall back again. Again, look, I want to stay here and I go here. So this is just fast. I'm over flicking, okay? So obviously a lower sense than this would be actually good. I can even go somewhere in between right here and still manage to flick these targets. But it's gonna be fast. It's gonna take some time for me to practice with this one and get used to it. And last thing that is left for you to practice is your recoil control. So put it on 20 meters, depending on your sense. See how your recoil control is. First of all, it can be still bad even though you found the perfect sensitivity. It requires practice. So it's not like with just like one time in like 1 hour, nice. Recoil control, 0. No, it's not gonna be like that. So look, this is my normal sense. I can control the recoil. Okay. If I make this faster, it can be a bit better. Let's see. So I changed it like with 10 numbers. This is the second time. Look, it's a bit faster, so that's why I'm pulling down. I'm used to the last sense, so I pull down harder, which I don't have to. So it's like less effort. This is basically what I want. Less effort, maybe better recoil control, right? If I practice. But with slower sense, let's go like 25, for example. I have to pull down very, very hard. So my job is harder. Look, at first it was going up because the sense is slow and I was pulling down, but it was not enough. So I had to pull down very hard. So the speed basically changed. With slow sense, I'm gonna come down faster, but with faster sense, I'm gonna come down slower. Slow sense. And now fast sense. Look, with the first touch, I'm going all the way down. I don't have to do anything. You see the difference? I don't have to do anything. It's less effort, very easy. And how long you should keep this sense and practice with it. I suggest 1 week, do the drills, 180 flicks, recoil control, 20 meters obviously, tracking and flicking. Make sure it's smooth, it's perfect, you do it every day that you play. And then if you feel like something is fast, it's a bit slow, change it with like 1 or 2 numbers, okay? From 53, go down to 50. From 45, go down to 43. You know, these are the numbers you want to change. From 11, go down to 10, go down to 9. Do not all of a sudden, out of nowhere, go from 11 down to 5. Do not go from 53 down to 33, okay? Do not change it like that. That's just like huge number, huge difference. And that's it for today's video. Let me know if you found this useful, and if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Until the next one, you can watch these 2 videos right here. Stay safe.